Capricorn, this is your September reading. I'm drawn to the outcome, the final card, the Ten of Swords. Stabbed in the back, a bit of betrayals, unwelcome endings. However, the overall energy, the middle card there is the Star card, hope and rebirth. In the past, bottom right, Chariot. You seem to have got a sense of direction, knew where you were going, knew what was happening, a sense of balance. I think, like so many people, you now feel like you've lost it. And that results in the current energy of the Two of Swords, a decision to make, a difficult decision. Don't really feel you have the information to take it. It's a moon in the background. Is it based on fear? The future is the Ace of Cups, card of love, maybe a new love. Now, we go to the top row. Now, remembering that the outcome is, I don't think, a positive outcome. Now, other tarot readers will, well, no, I will tell you this as well. There's no such thing as good or bad cards. All cards have both good and bad within them. But I don't think the Ten of Swords isn't a nice outcome. So what leads to the outcome is the Queen of Wands. And now she's rather a nice queen, but she can get the best out of people, but she does tend to use people. And I think that's the warning, that if you use people, no good will come of it. And the other card, which would change the outcome, is the King of Swords. So this is you having the knowledge, understanding things, seeing through things. And if you can do that, you will avoid this outcome. So a fascinating spread of cards. Is this something of a warning? I think maybe it is. What I need to tell you is I'm only reading energies, that's all. You have free will. So if you can use these energies to your benefit rather than seeing it as fate, then maybe some good will come of this reading. Maybe you'll take heed. Anyway, please continue listening because I think this is quite a profound reading for you. Now what I mustn't lose sight on is this central card, which dominates the entire reading, and therefore all the other cards. So whatever negativity I pick up on, I need to remember that we have this Star card, which is a lovely card. It's a lovely energy. It's an energy of hope. It's an energy of rebirth. It's an energy that maybe you could be on the right direction, although I don't think you are. But the possibility is there. And remember I said you had free will. So I think it's a great card of hope. Well, it means hope. So I need to bear that in mind in looking at the rest of the reading. And maybe even what I see as a bad outcome is necessary. It's possible. In your past, we had the Chariot card. Now, given that it's coming here, you can sort of ignore what I'm about to say, but I have been getting messages that those of us who have too strong a direction maybe are going in the wrong direction. So there's been warnings not to have too strong a sense of direction. But I think this is more about you reminiscing, seeing the past as something of a golden age, as we all do. A time when you had a sense of direction, a sense of balance, knew where you were going and moving there fast. But that has definitely changed now. So as I say, it is a positive card, but I think you're more mourning the fact that you no longer have this wonderful understanding of all that's going on in the world. And so you look to the past as a golden era, as many of us are right now. And right now, that sense of direction has gone. So no wonder you're mourning it. Because now you have an important decision to make, but you don't feel able to make it. If you look at the card, she's sort of, well, I don't see a tightrope, but it's like she's walking along a tightrope. Walking along, frightened to take a decision. Frightened to take a decision because she's blindfolded. There's the moon there, so there's fear. Fear about taking the wrong decision. She's got two swords in her hands, but they both look identical. So you can't make up your mind on what you should do. And I think many of us feel like that right now. And as I say, I've been getting messages that maybe that's the right way to be even. Because those of us with too firmer ideas are going to get them dashed. And your future energy is a lovely card, the Ace of Cups. It's a card of love, a divine love. Could be a card of creativity as well. Could be a new love. But again, this echoes messages I've been getting. The love really is the answer. So, you were facing a difficult decision. Well, if you can take that decision based on love, then you're moving in the right way. And love does seem to be the antidote to the fear that we're all feeling at the moment. It's almost as though this fear is being purposely created, because when we live in fear, we undertake actions which perhaps aren't the best. And I certainly feel that this fear is manipulative, it's being created so that we make the wrong decisions, act in the wrong way. So let love be your guide. We're now moving to the top row, and the top row I think is much more significant because it's about choices that you make. And this first card, the Queen of Wands, is a choice you're taking that leads to the outcome. And because I don't think the outcome is a good outcome, it's definitely a painful outcome. It can be avoided. And therefore, if you follow this energy, it's not going to be avoided. Now, the outcome might be in your best interest, even though it won't feel like it. So, keep listening before I decide on that. But this Queen of Wands, she looks lovely, and people do admire her, and people listen to her, and people do what she says. But she is prone to abusing people, abusing that power. You look at her with that riding crop. I would gladly bend over and let her hit me with it. And I think that is the energy that we must be avoiding. Not bending over and being hit with a white riding crop, but abusing people, abusing the power that we have. What would avoid the outcome is the King of Swords. He's a wise king. He's a king who's seen it all before. He's a king who instinctively knows what to do. So, contrasting with the Queen, who maybe abuses people, this is somebody who lets it wash over him. It's like you're going, oh yeah, I understand that, I understand it. So, you probably even got experience of similar energies. Don't think of it as similar situations, but if you can feel, well, I felt like this before and this happened. So if you can try and learn from that, and he is a king that does exactly that. As I say, you've got free will, and I get the impression this is the energy that you're being somewhat advised towards. Capricorn, I think it was Cancer that had this same Ten of Swords in this same position. And I concluded that it was a warning against greed. Could this be the same for you? I mean, you look at the card, he definitely used to work in the City of London. He's got 10 swords in his back, so he's been stabbed in the back. And it's so sudden and so unexpected, he just dropped his briefcase. In the case of, if it was Cancer, I thought it was to do with a job loss. I'm not certain it is, but I think it is a warning against greed. That's my candid feeling. But we're going to remember the overall energy is one of hope and rebirth. So maybe you need this ending to achieve that hope and rebirth. But, if you follow the wisdom of the King of Swords, then I think the most painful elements can be avoided. But we need clarity on this card, don't we? Because this is clearly a very important energy here. How terribly interesting. So I'm seeking clarity on this Ten of Swords. And as I say, I think it was Cancer. It might not have been, but I think it was Cancer. But two of the cards, at least, or it might even be three, but certainly two of the cards were cards that they also had in clarity. The first is the Devil, addictions and attachments. The second is the King of Wands, something of an entrepreneur. It's about money, it's certainly about money. And the final card is the Seven of Pentacles, long-term investments. Are you betrayed over long-term investments? I think you might be. And I think that's happening to quite a lot of people. Some people have already experienced it. Others maybe haven't yet. But I think, I told you about this fear porn. Fear is being created. People are rushing into digital currencies, into gold. I can understand why. But I think all markets are rigged. And I think there's a danger of rushing into what you see as long-term investments, which might be the exact opposite. So the first card of clarity is the Devil card. Unhealthy attachments, maybe even addictions. And now in the case of Cancer, if I'm right, it was Cancer. Forgive me, Capricorn, if I've got it wrong. But I concluded that it was about greed. I'm not certain yours is so much greed as sort of an addiction to making money, an addiction to treading on a few people to make money, an unhealthy attitude towards money. I mean, money is a man-made construct. It's not a unit of exchange. That's a myth. It's how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So by seeing everything as money leads to this downfall, this stabbing in the back. And I think it's about long-term investments. That's what I think it is. Now, I said when I was introducing this reading that the King of Wands was a natural born entrepreneur, which he is. But I think I'm picking up the wrong part of this energy here. He's a natural born leader, someone with a firm vision that people look up to. A bit like the Queen of Wands. Of course, we've got a queen and now we've got a king. And do you remember I said to you that having too firm a vision right now isn't a good thing? And I think your vision is a vision of believing you know how the world works, believing you're on top of things, maybe even trying to impose your views on others. And that's what's going to cause your downfall. And if you remember, the antidote is the King of Swords, who's somebody that can see through these things, who has the knowledge to see through things. So the King of Wands is much more a doer than the King of Swords, who sort of looks back and says, yeah, I've seen that before. You look at him, I don't trust him particularly, I don't know about you. I don't trust him, he's got something of the magician about him, hasn't he? Maybe that's just me. And the final card is the Seven of Pentacles, long-term investments. Now, I did say before, I wonder if you lose some money on some long-term investments, and I think that's entirely possible. But given the Queen of Wands and this King of Wands, I wonder if you give financial advice to others. I mean, I've drawn sort of concerns about Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin and gold. And for goodness sake, the last thing I am is a financial advisor, so don't listen to me on it. But I wonder if you're one of those sort of acolytes for sort of alternative investments, and you lose that position as a result of something going wrong in the financial markets. And let's face it, they're going wrong all the time now, aren't they? So I think this reading is a wake-up call for you. I mean, you may lose some of your own long-term investments, but I think much more it's about the control that you have over others has been misguided, and people turn against you as a result of it. So I think I can summarise, Capricorn. Capricorn, I think September's reading is one of misplaced confidence and hope. Misplaced confidence and hope that you sort of pass on to others, a little bit controlling, using of others. Certainly in the past you had very firm ideas on direction, on balance, on the way things were going. But you have caught a bit of a cold right now because you've got an important decision to make and you don't feel able to make that decision. And now what the universe is telling you is to be guided by love. But that wasn't really how you've done things in the past. And I think you will struggle with that advice, but I do urge you to take it. Because I think to a certain degree you're something of a user of people. Maybe you don't even intend to use them. Maybe people come to you for your advice. In fact, I think you might be a financial advisor. But people come to you for advice. But right now, the advice you're giving isn't good advice. And it's because you're blinded, because you have this sort of very firm sense of direction. You think you know what's going on and where you're going. In fact, you're even somewhat addicted to it. You're addicted to your own ideas, and maybe not imposing them on others, but certainly on others following you. When really what you need to be doing is holding back, thinking a bit more about the strange things that are going on in the world. Could it be that your advice is the wrong advice? It certainly feels that way. And if you can learn from the past, and that isn't by saying, okay, this situation, I've seen it before, this happened, that happened, that happened. No. Learn from the energies, learn from the feelings of the past. then you can avoid the mistake that's coming. And the mistake that's coming is you're going to be stabbed in the back. It's going to be a sudden and abrupt ending. And I think it's a sudden and abrupt ending to your position of authority, your position that people look up to you. Because the advice that you've been giving is going to be found wanting.